by the government's Creole consultant, Michael Gaspar. When Gaspar asked the churchman, where his church stood on abortion, he replied by quoting the "thou shalt not kill" commandment. More precisely, Gaspar wanted to know the church's position on abortion as it related to babies conceived during rape or incest. I could hardly believe my ears when the preacher said that the practice was to lecture the desperate mother. If at the end she still wanted to have a baby, she still didn't want to have a baby, then the church left it at that and left her to destroy her yet unborn child. I later spoke to the preacher face to face, and he assured me that his own personal position, and I said I didn't give a damn really about his personal position. Anyway, was that abortion was wrong and contrary to God's commandment. In other words, as far as he was concerned, abortion was wrong because it went against the "thou shalt not kill" commandment. So I asked him why he had sounded almost complicit about a mother's decision to permanently interrupt the activity in her womb. I needn't elaborate on his discomfiture at this point. Suffice it to say, he admitted that God's law was clear and unambiguous, that man, for his convenience, it was man, for his convenience, who had modified the "thou shalt not kill" law. That it was man, for his convenience, who had modified God's "thou shalt not kill" law. As I saw it, the true believer was the Christian, the true believer knew what was the Christian thing to do, in the event of a rape pregnancy, and it certainly was not abortion. The Christian, from everything I have learned, from everything I have read, from all my discussions about Christian people, the Christian, the true Christian, is expected to accept her fate as God's will. She's expected at least to try to forgive the rapist, never mind took him to court and jail him and everything else. She's expected to try to find in herself the willpower to forgive the rapist and not make the innocent consequence of that rape pay with its life. To my surprise, the preacher agreed. So then, what was all that stuff of Manessa? I mean, I want to pretend I'm thinking like a Christian. We all know I'm a devil. Let me pretend, just for the sake of argument and for the sake of people standing up so we know where they stand, etc., etc. I mean, I heard during the debate what a traumatic thing it was for a woman to be raped. And I believe that. I don't have to be raped myself to know it must be horrific. That is why governments that care ought to put in place mechanisms that would discourage rape. Because rapists are sick people. There's a lot of literature, a lot of material on that. How people become deviant. And it begins in the home, like everything else in this country. We always like, it begins in the home. Especially deviance in lousy housing, where a 16-year-old mother has 2 kids, and where to survive she's got to screw around to feed, and the kids and everybody's sleeping with everybody else, and the battering, and the sodomy, and people selling their bodies early. These things have repercussions. Kids being beaten up by stepfathers having sex with little 8-year-old girls. No counseling, they come to court and somebody and nothing. We are like barbarians, like savages, talking only. You commit the crime, do the time. Who cares about what caused it? And that's been going on forever. We don't care. Send them to Bordelais. After they spend 10 years in Bordelais, set them loose on the community again. Let them rape some more people, because there's no halfway house, there's no counseling, there's no remedial action, there's no rehabilitation. There's just politics, politics, politics. So what we do is we take the rapist from the street, we throw him in Bordelais, let him jump a few of his own gender, let him come out there more pissed off than ever with the community, rape some more, maybe kill somebody, maybe become a Titus Reynolds. We never investigate what made Titus Reynolds the animal he became. How come he was born a normal child? We don't want to know how the cathedral killers became what they became. They came from, at least one from decent background. We are not interested in how people become animals and rapists and whatnot. And we pay the price. So, we have Menisa coming, and it seems to me bending the truth so that they can legalize abortion.